Alright, guys and ladies, welcome back to Trespasser. We're in the second last level now. You can see the mountain has become a real terrain object. We are in Ascent Part 2. We're just going to run down this cliff and avoid that guy completely. This level, again, like Ascent Part 1, I'm not a huge fan of this level. It gets kind of cool toward the end as you're climbing up the mountain, but it's just more of this forest shit, and I don't really like this pine forest. I know it's supposed to look like where Lost World was filmed in California with all the redwood trees and such, but I prefer the colorful jungles of the first half of the game. I don't like this brown terrain texture. It looks like it's always to me looked kind of like rhinoceros dung. I know it's very specific, but is it a rhinoceros that has kind of like little bits of straw and stuff? It's probably most like ungulates or whatever, right? Ungulates being hooved animals. Is a rhinoceros an ungulate? I don't know. I'm not like an animal expert. I just watch the show with the Irwin family there, the Irwins, right? Crikey! Whoa! Now that right there, that's a velociraptor, one of the most feared creatures in all of the island. You know, you go near him, I'm a goner. But frankly, that's not. By the way, Steve Irwin, unfortunately, rest in peace, is not on that show. But you know, his kids love his kids too. So I think the Crocodile Hunter actually is what made me really get into animals when I was a kid. I mean, I've always loved animals. Right? I said I had cats. I had fish. I'd love to get a snake. I love snakes. Snakes are just wonderful. It's like a long lizard that like scoots around on the ground with just no arms. Like, that's just amazing. Like, what animals? Like, how did the animal kingdom go? You know what? Let's just not have arms on this guy. But like in another case, you know, you're like a spider, right? Like they say, oh, let's just put like 10 arms on this guy. You know, like what's the difference between 8 arms and 10? Or you get like the millipede. In German, hilariously enough, they're called 1,000-footers. I guess because they like, not because they're 1,000 feet long, but because they literally have 1,000 feet. I guess, like, you know, a millipede. Millipede means like million feet or whatever. Interesting insect facts going on here. I'm not a big insect fan myself. But like I said, I don't have much to talk about with these levels. I can't even say much about the beta versions of these levels because we don't have the early versions of most of the later levels. I think the last level we had an early version of is Pine Valley. But after that, all we have is Build 96, which looks pretty close to this final game. We do not have Ascent or Ascent Part 2. I do, again, suspect that this level was cut down from its early versions. That cliff right there looks a little unnatural to me. Let's just blow this guy away. Whoop. Okay, never mind.
8 left.
Uzi, not a great gun. We'll use the pistol. The Desert Eagle here.
4.
Yeah, I do strongly suspect if you go out of bounds in this level... oh my god, that guy just tanked it. I shot him like 4 times directly in the cloaca, and he's just like, whatever. Cloaca, if you're curious what that is, don't Google it. But if you take a look around this level's terrain, it's like way bigger than it ultimately turned out. And you can kind of tell, again, this area looks like the terrain here's a little jagged. I suspect the developers may have edited it in later versions to make it more interesting, which is fine, again, if they're cutting down the level for the sake of gameplay, I don't really have anything against that. The game was cut down a lot for the sake of gameplay, I think, and for the sake of time, because the developers, again, just ran out of time. Another reason why I kind of believe this level specifically was cut down is because there's none of those billboard trees, the fake 2-dimensional ones, again, which rotate around closer in the distance. All the trees are 3D, if I remember correctly, which to me indicates that at one point... there were billboards, and they were deleted, and they would have been somewhere else. Aw, you fucking dick. Ugh. No, I don't want to... why do I keep doing that? I don't want to restart the level. I want to load my quick saves. There we go. Yeah, these last few levels, man, they're a pain in the ass. The developers really went all out with the dinosaurs at the end of the game here, and these tried sea velociraptors, as you saw by me inserting lots of lead into that dinosaur. I'm just gonna let that sink in, what I just said there. They just went a little bit ham, I think, with the HP here, and it's kind of lame, but yeah, you see the Trespasser is still really good. I think it does something like 80 damage, and these guys have maybe 150 50 health. So you headshot them and they die quickly. Dinosaurs do actually have locational damage. I think I said that earlier.
6 rounds.
But they have a head hitbox, a body hitbox, and a tail hitbox. And typically, I think the head is set to double damage, the torso is normal, and the tail is half. So, and they all have different armor values too, actually, which reduces. I think it's like a fraction of the amount of damage that you do when you shoot them if you hit them in an armored spot. So something like Triceratops, Tricycloplots, which unfortunately there are no more of in the game. So you know, we've seen our two friends, the derpy Triceratopses, and we'll hopefully we see more of them when I play some of these fan levels, which I plan on doing. You know, I got a whole day ahead of me. I have not a whole lot of work to do, so I'm thinking I might play a fan level or two today before I finish recording, or before my voice gives out, one of the two. Hopefully it doesn't give out, or you know, you guys are obviously crossing your fingers that it does give out. I know, I'm wise to that, but I'm gonna keep going until until I kind of sound like I'm doing this, you know. I've been smoking way too much. Does that sound anything like The Mask? I haven't seen that movie for a long time, where he goes, you know, like, smoking. I hate that movie. That movie terrified me as a kid. I was an absolute like pussy as a kid. I was terrified of most things, like movies, like you know, one of my favorite series ever. I know it's going to be a little bit controversial now because of the author, but one of my favorite series ever, you know, I'm the correct age, is Harry Potter. And I remember in Chamber of Secrets, there's that scene where Harry's in Borgin and Burke's, the sketchy ass shop where, well, I was gonna say where Malfoy and his dad kind of like drop off. I think it's where the Vanishing Cabinet, which they say kind of funny in the movie. It's where that is, but there's like that hand, the hand of glory or whatever, where I think it's like you put a candle in it or whatever, and only the holder of the hand can see the light, is like the myth it's based on. Again, clearly a little bit of research went into those books. Regardless of what you think of the author, I think they're quite fascinating, quite good books. But yeah, that hand of glory, Harry puts his hand on it, like grabs him. That, when I was a kid, that scared me so fucking badly. To this day, I still can't like watch that scene without like my heart racing and like slowly having a panic attack. Which sucks, because that's my favorite of the Harry Potter movies. And the Harry Potter, well, maybe not the books. The books, for me, it's a toss-up between that one and Philosopher's Stone. I do also like Goblet of Fire a lot. But I like the earlier ones. I find the later ones where it kind of gets a little epic are a little lame, in my opinion.
Looks like 12.
Not lame, they're just not as good. I like the whimsical, fun magic. I don't like when it gets all serious and, like, you know, Fred or George or whoever the fuck it is, it gets his ear blown off by, I don't know, like, someone with a gun. I think that's what happens, right? Voldemort learns the use of, Voldemort, actually, because the T is supposed to be silent, shoots his ear off with a gun, because he like, learns firearms and realizes, like, bullets travel way faster than wands. If anyone's, like, actually still watching this and you happen to like Harry Potter, I know you're going, like, oh, you're an idiot, like, you know, you literally are the idiot, because you're just, like, bullshitting your way through this, but, you know what, fuck you, I'm going to joke around again. I don't take anything very seriously, including myself, and, you know,
Around
life
10,
is just a joke.
9, 7, 6.
Come on.
5.
Fuck. This guy, I think I'm in a bit of trouble here, because I just whiffed on, like, every single shot from this M14, which, again, this is a good gun. And missing every shot is usually not ideal, considering it doesn't do a massive amount of damage. Again, I'm gonna try to juke them via the terrain. There we go. This rock to me looks really weirdly placed too. It's kind of hard to climb on. This level has a little bit of weirdness going on as we ascend Mount Watson here. You will see that there's a lot of just kind of weirdness going on with the mountain. It's like the developers were like, okay, can't just have the player walk up a mountain. Like, we gotta make it more interesting than that. So the further we get up the mountain, the more nonsensical the level design becomes. That jump right there, that's a bullshit jump. They made that way harder than it needs to be. We can just kind of skirt around it, though. I just lost my gun, too, by the way. Yeah, again, I'm starting to feel as we get into this that the game gets more and more unfinished. I don't know if that's actually the case, but the fact that we don't have most of these levels from earlier builds, to me indicates these were probably finished later in development. Which goes along with just their design. Like, they're just kind of lame.
10.
I don't really like them that much. We'll
8
take the
shots.
Desert Eagle again. Desert Eagle, always good. This up here, like, this puzzle is really stupid. Here we go. Like, this is one of those here we go moments. Like, so, what the game is obviously telling you is to throw a rock up there, knock those down so you can climb up this ledge. But, like, who put those up there? Look, that one box that's, like, sitting on the edge, it's like, how is that physically possible?
8
Like,
shots.
it's just hovering there. Is it being held up by magic or something? Like, you know, somebody's cast, like, Wingardium Leviosa on it or something? I don't know. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. So let's just move some of these boxes up. These boxes also are noticeably, I'm trying to pick them up, they're heavier than the boxes in the previous levels, which were quite light and easy to carry. So this is a bit of a pain. Like, I'm trying to walk forward and the box is, like, smothering me into the ground. I'll try jumping. There we go. And we can do that, and then we can climb up. Again, it's just like, I wonder how much of this the developers actually
7
had time to
shots.
test, because I feel like it probably wasn't tested that thoroughly. They were just like, oh, we gotta get this game out. I believe Universal was really disappointed they couldn't make their original release date because the engine was just so complex, nobody knew what they were doing. So Universal kind of made them rush it out in October of 1998.
3, 2.
But we ended up with this kind of unfinished product. But
Hasn't
honestly,
been
like,
used.
this game engine is so fucking complex that I feel like they never would have finished it. Like, it would have just remained a giant, like, cacophony of crap. Pretty proud of that one. That's like a Dr. Seuss title right there. The
10 shots.
cacophony of crap. Oh, the crap you shall see. Okay, you see how much of a child I am? I'm just, like, quoting Dr. Seuss now. But you know, we can all be big children here. That's what I'm hoping you're here for. You're here because you're experiencing something you loved as a kid. I didn't play this game until I was a bit older, actually. I had almost every Jurassic Park game because it was just my favorite, up until Operation Genesis. And then once I got to, I think it was about 2009, I stumbled across the Dark Secrets mod for this game, which again, please go play that. It's awesome. It's not finished, but it's awesome. I played that. I saw that rather, and then I saw Trespasser. What's this? I've never heard of this. And then I played the vanilla game, and I was like, holy shit. Actually, I didn't even play the vanilla game first. I played the Trescom Isle level first, because it had its own installer that kind of came bundled with the exe file for the game, which was, you know, probably illegal.
9.
But the game's kind of abandonware now, so that's sketchy territory. No, I won't go into it because I don't want the game to be
Feels
taken
full.
down. Because everyone in the world should have the right to enjoy this big fucking crappy game here, right? Hammond would say that. He'd say, everyone in the world has the right to experience this pile of shit. Poor Hammond. Excuse me. I wonder what happened to Hammond. Anyway, after Lost World, because I think it's implied that he's sick in Lost World or something, right? Because you see, which, you know, it's not related to the actor Richard Attenborough being
October
respectful.
1996. The InGen Corporation is taken out of my hands by a vote of the Board of Directors.
Damn it.
My nephew dispatches his team.
Guess I'll die.
October 1996. The InGen Corporation is taken out of my hands by...
I hate this jump. This
October
bridge.
1996. The InGen Corporation is taken out of my
we can
hands
just do
by
this.
a vote of the Board of Directors. My nephew dispatches his team.
Okay, so this bridge sucks. There goes my AK. This bridge is crap. It's at an angle. The jumps are awkward. You fall down and you don't actually
Around
die. You
10.
just kind of like have to flip and flop your way down.
7 shots.
Yeah, that's not super fun jump to make, but I made it. I know a lot of Let's Players. I know Shadefire, actually. I've watched all of his videos.
Story on
I know he hates that bridge
news
specifically with a
tabloids.
passion. This puzzle's kind of cool. I think I just blew it, actually. I think what you're supposed to do is weigh it down. So let's try that. Again, like, really cool physics in this game, and the developers had some creative ideas. Speaking of creative ideas, actually, this level, Ascent Part 2, had probably one of the greatest ideas that the developers had in an early build. Or in the early walkthrough, sorry. There's an early walkthrough for this game.
The park was nearly complete. Our investors demanded on-site approval, and I, idiotically as it now turned out, believed we were ready.
I was saying one of the levels for one of the ideas for a puzzle in this level was going to be called something called Raptor Kong. Now, if you know the original Donkey Kong arcade game, that's what it was supposed to be. You were like jumping, like the Velociraptor was literally at the top of like a series of sloped ramps, throwing barrels at you, and you were supposed to like jump over them and reach the top. I don't know how that would have worked. I don't know if that would have even worked because I don't think the barrels would have rolled, being squared shaped in physics terms. But I think that would have been really fun, actually. It's something I've wanted to try to recreate with modding myself. Look at this, more floating fucking shit. They're actually floating, here's the view of the island music, by the way. They're floating because if they touch each other, there's a chance that when you touch them, they go flying because the physics clip into each other.
Of August 27th, 1989 is now quite well known. And the legal consequences were, as you may well imagine, rather extensive.
Yeah, so there Hammond's giving the wrong date for Jurassic Park, again in the movie terms. He says it's August 27th, 1989. In the movie, I believe it's speculated, it's not known, but it's speculated to have been June 22nd, 1993. Which makes sense because, again, the explorers, the Ford Explorers in the movie are 1992 model, I think, or 93. The Jeep Wranglers are 92. 1992 Wrangler Saharas, I believe. YJ or something like that. You heard the view of the island music there. You're supposed to, I guess, get a spectacular view of the island from up here, but even if we go to the cliff, you look and you see it's just fogged and there's actually nothing down there. And the level ends shortly beyond the edge of the fog. But again, like I said earlier, if you were to merge all of the levels into one giant island and fill in all of the gaps, you could actually see across the whole island, because this game supports pretty much an infinite render distance, funnily enough. The terrain kind of starts like going crazy at a specific distance, but that might be fixable. I'm not 100% sure.
1989, I sat on a wooden bench in the waiting room in Washington, D.C. A government panel put me on the stand. As my name was read out,
John Parker Hammond,
the session room went silent. They walked up the aisle towards the stand. I was being called to account, but I had no clear explanation to give.
That's got to be an interesting trial.
I gave myself over to the strange, lonely discipline of the market, investment strategies and profit. I stood apart, master of codes and lost worlds of heat and cold, and the sleep of 100 million years.
7.
I love that that little part there from him. So that's another really nice piece of dialogue. Great acting by Richard Attenborough. And by the way, I have not said anything about Minnie Driver, who plays our hero, the Anne. Yes, the Anne.
Feels full.
I honestly don't really know a whole lot about her. She's British, actually. She's doing it in a pretty good American accent here. But yeah, she's portrayed by actress Minnie Driver. I'm sure she's been in something, but it's nothing I've seen. She's very likable too, though. Good, just generally good acting. Look at this. Look at the barrel just like clipping through my arm here.
My work lies where I left it.
All right.
If there was anyone brave enough and clever enough to take it and return the keys to time, perhaps the foundation of a new empire.
This is a really cool puzzle too. This is interestingly well set up. You know, you hold this button down and it lowers the elevator. You push the other one and it raises it. I think I think it's really cool that this this actually works like this. This is the kind of thing you don't see often, even in fan levels. So the trick here is we have our pistol.
8 left.
We have a hand.
8 left.
Just in case you could use a hand. And we're going to shoot this plank.
7.
And it's going to fall on the control, and up we go. Really, a really creative puzzle again. Like, and I'm surprised like this lift doesn't just clip into her legs and like instantly compress her to death. Anyway, we are at the end of Ascent 2. Here we are in Summit. I think I will make this a separate video. And alrighty, action's kicking out. But before that happens, I'm going to cut and see you in the next episode. Excuse me, friend. I'm trying to do my outro. I'm gonna go stand over here. Anyway, this has been The Idiot, signing off.